you.
Okay, I welcome you with this song, man. Will I thank you, Lord. Okay, so we basically invited you to, today is the Minister of Defense's birthday, Daniel Zanka.
Yeah, he used to be my former friend, but he's not my friend.
Oh, he's not your friend.
He's not my
What
friend.
transpired?
No, everything was okay. At least we made peace in the Holy Land,
Okay.
and we are good friends. I just want to use this platform also to wishing you have been wishing happy birthday all day long.
Yeah, or the
And I just want to use the medium to also say a very very happy and blissful day to our Minister of Defense, retired Major General Zianga.
yeah. Surely he has been performing with distinction. He's doing extremely well in trying to,
He's very professional.
yeah, professional. He's supervising the gallant men and women of the armed forces. I think he's doing extremely well. Now let's hear from you first, Solo. How did it go? The president, did return yesterday, but he was in Israel a few days ago. How did it go when he arrived?
Well, I think the president laid down the platform for a successful working visit, in the sense that when he arrived, basically, you know, it's very high, it's very rare, so to speak, for a leader who is in some competition
Hmm.
with other people. This year is our elections year. We are going to elections. You have some people who want him to unseat him, although it's crystal clear that he's the favorite to win the elections come October thing.
Okay.
But the first thing he did for a leader at this time, at this stage, when he entered Israel
Hmm.
through the David Ben Gurion Airport from Tel Aviv straight to Jerusalem, the first thing he did was to go to the Western Wall. He didn't pray for himself first. He prayed for Liberia.
You were close to him when he was praying?
Right next to him.
Okay.
If you watch the video, you see my position.
Hmm.
He prayed for Liberia first. Not many people are we seated yet now. The first thing when I decided to pray, I asked God to pray for myself first.
Yeah,
Then
sure.
I started to remember down the line.
Which is selfishness, But if
no
not,
problem, no problem. At least I'm being selfish, but the president was not selfish.
yeah, sure, he did
The
it
first
straight
thing
well.
he did was to pray for the nation
Mhm.
before coming to pray for his family himself, and prayed for the electoral process to be very peaceful, transparent, and credible.
Hmm.
So that alone laid the foundation for his visit to Israel that we'll be discussing during the course of the next hour or less than an hour. I don't know what the time is it.
Hmm.
And it was okay, because if you went to a country, apart from the prayer, apart from visiting the holy sites, because he's a Christian, devoted Christian,
Yeah, surely.
he's an inspirational speaker, as most of the churches and stuff he has gone to. But he met with all of the major stakeholders in Israel: president, first foreign minister, president, and then prime minister.
Okay.
This
Okay. We'll talk about some of the meetings he held, but talking about the prayer of the president, I saw when I look at the video and saw something on his head, like a little cap. What is that?
well, it was interesting to note, not surprising though, that Israel has a population of almost 10 million people.
Mm.
9.6 million people is almost 10 million people, and 81% of that number are Jews.
Okay.
So what you saw is an emblem of a Jews. They're normally that what their rabbi wear, but nowadays they wear the big cap.
Mm.
It's a Jewish symbol. Uh, all of the Israeli leaders wear that. So where you were entering
Mm.
was the Jewish section of Israel, or of that Western Wall.
Mm.
So he had to identify himself.
So immediately before he could enter, they gave him the something to wear.
No, it's not compulsory. You
Okay.
can choose to do it. Not the only thing you cannot do.
Mm.
You cannot wear that along with a cross. But the cross symbolizes Christianity and things like that. And the people themselves, like I said, 81% of them are what Jews.
Mm.
So it means in Liberia we have more Christian than a Christian.
So he willingly chose to wear it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And one thing I want people to know: this is not the president's first time going to Israel. Okay, This is the third time he has gone to Israel since he entered the political arena.
Okay.
I remember vividly well when you're playing for PSG, he destroyed a team they call Hapoel.
Hmm.
You know, his football club was the major football club at that time in the Champions League, where he scored 2 goals when PSG was trading by 1-0. So this is not the first time, but this time was very special because he went there before his senatorial race.
Hmm.
He was there in 2019 February when I was also there with him, and that was my very first time going to Israel in 2019. And this time around, but the fact that he put Liberia first, which he has always done in other cases,
Hmm.
but in a year where you are going to elections, in a year where your people, other people, your competitors are going to Stram and going to other places, he decided to go to Jerusalem,
Hmm.
to go
Now,
to
when he
Israel.
was praying, you say you were close to him. Did he prayed asking that he wins the election, or he was asking God to ensure that the process is free, fair, and credible?
He was praying
Hmm.
that Liberia should be peaceful. You are praying for a peaceful electoral process. Look, it's crystal clear
Hmm.
that the president is going to win the elections first round. If you listen, like probably we'll talk about before we come to the ECOWAS summit that you
Hmm.
attended, when you're being honored by the Friends of Zion, the foreign minister of Israel, the state of Israel, Ila Colin,
Hmm.
when he spoke, he said, Mr. President, thank you very well for a job well done in Liberia, doing well for your people. In conclusion,
Hmm.
the foreign minister said, I know this time you are going to win big. It's Ila Cohen, the foreign minister. Go back, go to our Facebook page, we'll be there for the next 30 days of plus. He said, because the reason why I want to stress what he said,
Hmm.
in every country you have ambassadors of other nations. The ambassador to Liberia for Israel has oversight for Liberia, for Guinea, Ghana, and I think Sierra Leone. 4 countries. These people make their direct report to their foreign minister because they answer to the foreign minister, and the foreign minister makes his report to his boss.
Hmm.
So, based on comparison level, what these people have reported from various countries that they have supervision over, it's crystal clear that the president is doing extremely well. So he said, Mr. President, I want to thank you for what you are doing for the people of Liberia. You are doing a great job. We can see it. And this time around, we are 100% sure you win more than before.
Hmm.
So if they are doubting Thomas's other places, the people can see vividly well. And when he met the Prime Minister, Netanyahu,
Hmm.
Benjamin Netanyahu, Netanyahu said, my good friend and brother, I'm presenting to you this portrait because the first time the president went in February, they had a picture together. He presented that to him
Hmm.
as his gift. He said, and the next time when you come, I'm going to present the picture we are taking now. So people know crystal clear who they are going to work with, who they want to work with, and who they know the Liberian people prefer.
Hmm. Now, let's talk about upon his arrival. I want to give us a clear picture. Uh, what sort of honor did he receive that befitted him as a leader of this country?
But basically,
Hmm.
the honor he received was the last ceremony held for him in Israel. Uh, it's an award given out by the group called Friends of Zion.
Hmm.
That Friend of Zion, in terms of awarding people with honor, that's the most prestigious honor you can ever get from the state of Israel.
The most
Because the
prestigious.
most prestigious
Hmm.
is only given to presidents and diplomats who have contributed to the welfare of the state of Israel.
The highest honor in
The
the
highest
country.
honor.
Okay.
Uh, Most recent recipients of that award
Hmm.
was Mike Pence, former vice president of the United States. After Donald Trump has received it, after Joe Bush has received it, on the continent of Africa, the president is the third person to have received their award.
Hmm.
That's after Malawi, after Uganda. Now, what is
Liberia is the third.
is the third?
Hmm.
I don't want to go into much politics. Before the president received the award, it should have been Donald. It should have been Vladimir Putin.
Hmm.
But because of what is happening now, so the president received the award. And when the award was being given to the president, they catalog what Liberia and the president has done for the state of Israel.
Hmm.
Firstly, the UN resolution that brought into existence the state of Israel was signed by 33 world leaders.
Including Liberia.
Liberia was one of the first in the 33 to sign
Hmm.
that resolution that created the state. Now they look at the role the president has played, okay, for the existence at international fora or forums, whatever way people want to call it.
Hmm.
He has always advocated for peace, coexistence, and the rights of every people. So these are the things that seen Mr. President since you came as president of Liberia. The role you have played has always been the interest of the state of Israel and the people and the Jewish people.
Hmm.
And the president was one of those that stood with Israel when people were castigating Israel, like Israel being violent. Israel is not being violent. So the catalog everything the president has done for them, for which he was given the honor.
Hmm.
And so in most recent time, before what you call the COVID crisis,
Hmm.
President Weah is the first in the post-COVID era to receive this award. So it means a lot.
So, in other words, in Africa, Liberia is the third country.
Yeah,
to
like I
receive such an
said,
award.
Malawi, the president of Malawi, and then Yoweri Museveni from Uganda. Then the president comes next.
Now, so how does it? What sort of recognition? What is different about this award from other awards that the president has received before?
This is very special. Special in the sense that, like I said, the population of Israel is 9.6 million people.
Hmm.
Israel has about 35,000 millionaires. They have about 75 billionaires. 3/4 of the billionaires are part of the Friends of Zion. And during the war, they told the president, right, that the Friends of Zion National Museum is your home, just as Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, or Israel is your home.
Okay.
We are with you just as you are with us. That speaks volume. That in short, they are willing to work along with the president in making him a legend, in leaving a legacy behind when his 12 years expire.
That's the Friends of Zion.
That's the Friends of Zion that was said. And before the Friends of Zion,
many of them billionaires.
That's what I'm saying. 3/4 of them are billionaires. And there are 75 billionaires in Israel. 11 of them are from Jerusalem alone. But 3/4 of that number, I don't know, I remember your mathematics. Out of 75, you know exactly, that's a very good number. So for those people to say they are with you, asking you and begging you to have a direct representative that they can work with, or an ambassador in the country, it speaks volume.
Okay.
That the prime minister, you know, the prime minister of Israel, and Israel is one of the 10th superpower in the world. If you name it 10 superpower in the world, Israel is one of them. And Benjamin Netanyahu, who has been prime minister since 1996, because their constitution provides for that. Because I don't want people to say, oh, the president has been somebody who said people should not work to the 10. But according to the constitution of Israel, the tenure for the prime minister is every 4 years and it's unlimited.
Okay.
So you can go once the people want you to be there, you can be there. So I don't want people to say, "Oh, why the president will be telling other people to stand there after the third term? I mean, second term." It's because what the constitution provides.
Okay, you're listening to the SMS rated on the OBC 99.9 and other frequencies across Liberia. Our studio guest is the Presidential Press Secretary, Solo Kelgbeh. Now, Solo, let's go into the specifics of the meeting. You know that the president held first with the president of that country, and then also with Netanyahu. But let's see first about the meeting that he held with the president of the country.
Well, the president having interviewed my namesake, Hassan Herzog. That meeting went well. He was very excited. He's one person, firstly, who have been a fan of the president from his imminent date. That was his opening statement. He was saying that he wants Liberia and Israel to take their bilateral relationship, their ties to another level.
Okay.
And
was it specific about the level you may mention?
Well, basically, they want both countries. They talk about mutual benefits. They want both countries to do the needful. I don't want to talk about what he said about the president's son. He wants the president's son to go to Israel.
He wants him to go to Israel.
He wants to go to Israel. Timothy, we are
to play for Israel.
No, not to play for Jerusalem Hapoel or whatsoever. But they believe the president was one person that all of the Israelis went in the street to call for the Israeli FA to have voted for the president as the world best in 1995-96. And the fact that his son is stepping into his shoes, they just want to touch that land. They feel that when he goes there,
he should pay a visit there.
Yeah, pay a visit. They feel that when he goes there, probably he might get more than what his father have gotten, or he will be like his father.
Yeah,
so
sure.
It's a good thing, yeah.
Wow.
But basically, they just want the relationship to thrive. To go beyond what's happening. They want Liberians to feel the impact of life, because the only thing for now that we can come visibly that we can see in Liberia that the Israeli government have contributed to is the executive mansion. They paid that executive mansion before you myself were born. But I mean, they just want the relationship to grow from strength to strength.
Now we heard about economic cooperation between the two countries, through trade. Basically, what do they mean when they talk about economic cooperation?
Well, Israel is a small country. I think the last time I checked, Israel is like 22,000 square kilometers. That's the size of Israel.
Wow!
But they are blessed. They are blessed. They have a lot of things
economically.
One of the things we were talking about, how they can help Liberia with their technology and investment opportunities, so that Liberia can be self-sufficient in terms of food. Rice having to be our staple food. Yesterday we are still importing rice. So they want to use their investors in the technology so that Liberia can be self-sufficient in terms of rice production. They also want to use the technology to add value to some of our cash crops, like rubber, like cocoa, you can name them. And probably in return, what they will stand to benefit is that they want those things to be sold to Israel, which of course is reasonable because they know exactly what they want. So if they can use their technology, I think it benefits our industry, it benefits our own production and the cash crops that we got because of add value. For now in Liberia, except for what Jetty is trying to do, I mean, most of the things that leave our country when it comes to rural, they are basically mere raw production or products that have been shipped out of the country. So this is what they were talking about. Look, yes, we have embassy, we have people here who want you to bring an embassy to Tel Aviv or to Jerusalem, but let's feed the presence there. Because if you are producing rubber with added value, it means if you're being sold, the raw material being sold for $1, that added value maybe carry the $3 or $4, which makes sense. And so this is why they were talking about economic cooperation. It should not just be mere talk. It should not be on paper. It should not be your ambassador come. It should not be just mere visit. But let our people come there to invest. Let a billionaire come to put money into your economy. Let it use our technology so that we can have more and more. Let the impact be fed by the ordinary man. And basically, they want the president to leave a legacy.
Okay.
Not just about road, this and that. So when those who were in the meeting. If you look at the video,
Mhm.
Benjamin who greeted the president, he said, "Look, I mean, let's do the needful."
Now, those sort of meetings are held and discussions are, are carried out. When do we see Mr. Solo Kelvin, Presidential Press Secretary, the actualization, maybe seeing a few, individuals or few Israeli, touching ground and starting, what, been discussed?
Well, I think I can remember vividly well. Yesterday, the president had international interaction with the media when he arrived, and one of the questions posed to him is when we look forward to having a direct representation in the Holy Land. And I think what the president said was, well, he has directed the Minister of Foreign Affairs to make available the needed resources to make sure we have a representation there. So what I'm saying is,
So in other
so
words, we're going to set up the embassy before the sort of economic cooperation can come to fruition.
it's not necessarily you don't necessarily have to set up there, but the Minister of Foreign Affairs was given a lead to work out mechanism to make sure we have a representation there. This is why when the president traveled, he traveled. They needed people who should be there, people who can work on the modalities to have this thing implemented. We have somebody from NIC, National Investment Commission, was there. We have somebody from Commerce was there, and the necessary ministers were there to make sure that they know what is there, they interact with a counterpart, and that can start.
So do we
I
know?
cannot say open the year now to say, oh, it will start today, it will start tomorrow. But the most important thing is that people are in contact, modalities are being worked out, and we hope in the shortest possible time that we can get these things going.
Okay, we'll hope that we can get those things going the soonest possible time. Now, from Israel, His Excellency also crossed over to Guinea-Bissau. Do you care to tell us how did it go in Guinea-Bissau?
Well, I think they had a very friendly discussions. While it is true, most of the discussions in Guinea-Bissau was centered around peace and security, most especially in the Sub-Saharan Basin. You know what is happening in Malay, what is happening in Guinea, what is happening in Chad, and all around and our surroundings. And they just ended elections in Sierra Leone. As the meeting was fruitful in the sense that two major things were held or took place. One was Bola Tinubu from
The
Nigeria.
new Nigerian president.
Nigerian president is now the new chair of ECOWAS. And then after the president's presentation,
He was elected?
Yes.
Okay. Or handpicked?
No, it's not handpicked. I
Okay.
mean, they went through a process, and people saw the need because the chair position is being rotated. You know? So people vie for it. If you get it now, because first it was Nana Akufo from Ghana, after he went to Guinea-Bissau to Umaru, and now it's Tinubu. Maybe next time will be somebody else. But after that, the president make his presentation, make a case for Liberia. That it's time for Liberia to take the non-permanent seat at the United Nations. And overwhelmingly, ECOWAS leaders endorsed Liberia's position. So 2026, 2027, Liberia will be presented, uncontested because it's a rotation of something. Now it's time for West Africa. So Liberia will be the next, hopefully, holding everything constant. Liberia will be the next non-permanent member to the United Nations Security Council.
So then what would that mean?
Well, it means a lot. If you went back to check, Liberia would say 1847. Liberia would say oldest independent country in Africa. Liberia will say give birth to other countries in Africa and the world for their own independence. But we have never had this position before. Never. So it means a lot because Liberia will have a more active voice, not just for Liberia, for the whole of West Africa. What else can I say about that? So so that's it. It means a whole lot. We will have direct involvement in other things before it even come to fold.
Okay. Now, I heard also that during the meetings with his colleagues or the sessions, the president was able to also inform his colleagues about his intention running the next election. What was the rationale for that?
Well, they are not just at ECOWAS, but I just want to leave it to ECOWAS for now. Most of the leaders hold the president high esteem when it comes to upholding the values and tenets of democracy and the constitution of their lands. The president have openly voiced the dissatisfaction with some leaders who want to circumvent their constitution and not because they want to perpetually remain to power. And so when the president first said, you must say in Liberia, he tried to reduce the tenure of a president from what is it now. Some of his friends are calling him, you sure you really want to do that? So it was not really surprised when the president said he was vying for a second term and final term. They knew he would not do anything to go for a third term. Unlike other critics in Liberia who think when the president, through the referendum, were advocating for the change in the tenure, reduction in the tenure, the feel the president wanted to do it, should have the chance to go for a third term. That's not the case. So we're happy and they know exactly. Most of them feel that maybe what we're going for in October is just for formality. They just are going through the process, but they believe and hope that the president will be elected.
His colleagues in the sub-region.
Sure. Sure. Not just, I just told you what happened in Israel.
In Israel,
way in the Middle East. So what more people in West Africa they can see. And they know. So when somebody is performing, they have nothing to worry about. Nothing to thinking about. Well, the only thing is he's always applauded. He's always applauded for always wanting to do the right thing in keeping with our constitution.
He also promised his colleagues that the upcoming election will be free, fair, and credible. Against what backdrop did he say that?
Well, since I joined this government, since I was appointed a presidential press secretary for the president, everywhere the president wanted two things they are talking about. Maintaining the peace in Liberia, right? His message has always been peace, and then promising a peaceful and incredible elections. This is somebody who has not believed in violence. So, but if I tell you this, probably you won't believe it. If the president was someone who really believed in violence, the 2005 elections would have been singing different songs. People have gone to him. He clearly won these elections. Don't let people take it from you. But he said, no, let believe in our institutions. A National Elections Commission has announced that I didn't win. Let's go back to the drawing board.
Okay.
Let's do the NIFO, and that's it. And one of our war leaders who went around killing people around, who supervised the killing of a sitting president, Prince Johnson. I remember one time he said, he was being asked a question. He said, I will not be a leader who will win election and they take it from. You are referring to President Weah not going to the street to destroy our country. Something they did in 1990 that the president refused to take part of. And they wanted the president to instruct the people no. But what the president did, he didn't just take a peace ambassador position. He went to the USA, to be specific, in Minnesota, Minneapolis, the Twin City, and helped to raise money for Liberia under Ellen Johnson's relief government the first year. So people thought he was going in the street. So from day one, everything he had on your mind was peace. So, there's no worry in the region that Liberia election will not be peaceful.
Yeah, well, surely we know the president is, he always espouses to peace. But how do you see? Yes, you are always with the president, turning to sort of, going on these sort of trips. But how do you think his colleagues in the sub-region see him, especially a man who continuously, advocated for stability in the sub-region?
Well, what it is just simple. So I think most of his colleagues in the sub-region want to see him re-elected, and he is going to be re-elected. Because if you look at a man who people think will not do anything and see what he has done, let me give you a little a comparison with the president and that of the late Summer Kando. Though according to the people was not educated, but he had all the educated people around him. People who feel they were progressive. But after some time, the vision of Doe was different from them. They feel Doe vision will make him more popular. So some of them start to scare away from him. Doe believe in development, just how this president believe in development. The Summer Kando sports complex we see today was not a vision or was not a blueprint, quote unquote blueprint of Summer Kando. But you know what it means for Liberia. And he paid that stadium. Taking Liberia from paying thousands and millions of dollars annually for rented property was not a vision of Summer Kando, was the vision related William R. Tuttle. These are the same development that the president is carrying out today. Today, NP have our own headquarters. They're no longer in containers or prefabricated structures. How you call it? LPRC, Maritime. You just name them. The president is not selfish enough to say, I will start developing the roads from Grand Crew, because you know if you had $10 to do the road from here to Grand Crew, and you jump the Grand Crew, you spend maybe 50 times that $10. So you're using those corridors that will lead the Grand Crew. People who are development oriented are not selfish. They don't put their interest first. And this is why sometimes the people in the Southeast, our own son from the Southeast is not doing this. But it doesn't mean Southeast is forgotten.
Surely.
There are programs, everything earmarked. So if you have a leader who sacrifices his own interests for the sake of a nation, who else do you go for? So, I mean, his colleagues in the region know he'll be elected overwhelmingly. It's crystal clear. And nothing is going to detract him, not a single say from people. He's going to remain focused because he said he wants to leave a legacy that you remember. Now, what he's doing exactly.
Did he request for any international observers, maybe?
You will have all of the representation here. I has always been.
From ECOWAS as well.
From ECOWAS, from AU, from EU, from the USA, from Carter Center. You just name it, everyone will be there. And I can assure you that they will applaud him. The reason I'm saying this more than confidence, 100% plus confidence, that we have had by-elections under this particular president. In other elections, no international organizations has complained of some malpractices,
some irregularity or something.
No, not at all. And the only people you hear fumbling are the undecided, unfocused people who don't mean well for this country. When they win elections, they don't say the process was credible, they just celebrate. When they do win elections, that when they want to question, they want to go to Supreme Court. And when the Supreme Court turn them back, their own institution or established, even before Judge we were born, they don't want to believe that because it's not in the field.
Okay, so Mr. Solo Kelgbeh, let's come back home now. We've been discussing on the international scene, on the region as well, talking about the president's connection and its meeting with his colleagues, his relationship with his colleagues. We've been talking about that. Let's come back home. Why the president was away on his working visits? Some opposition figures, or maybe let me be specific. The former president, the former vice president, rather, was home making a lot of accusations, linking this government to the importation of kush and other narcotics. But let's see what we can listen to him briefly, and then we come back.
And one time I asked somebody, what do we, when we celebrate independence, what do we celebrate? Is it the years or the development? About 5 counties, 6, 7, they have to pass through here to go down to Monrovia. the streets are not even laid out. And because the streets are not laid out, people fight for land. The school they started building here, they can't complete. And we still celebrating the pavement of the Kokoya to Grand Bassa Road. Those are the things we're talking about that we must do. The Patawee that we know should have been a tourist attraction. Is it developed? Those are all the things that bring revenue to the nation and make people happy. We started the Saline market here. Is it completed? The Bond Technical College, our young people have to go to Monrovia. They have to pay rent. Instead of paving road, instead of giving them education, they said we should give them coach.
And so you listen to the former vice president throwing what to call jobs there.
Well, I can't really believe that's Waka speaking. Probably somebody speaking through him.
You can't believe it.
I can't believe it's Waka. Somebody who has been at the helm of power for ages would say that.
12 unbroken years.
Forget about 12, even with the 12 years.
Mhm.
Can you believe that a Waka would say that? A Waka who never have a pavement to a house that judge will have to give him road would say that. A Waka who never had electricity to a home. A judge.
Walker is saying that instead of doing all what people should be doing, you are giving our kids coach.
Someone forgive
You shocked? Are you
a
shocked?
Waka saying that? Listen,
Mhm.
the development of every country, if people say 1,000 might begin with one step. So even if we reduce the steps and take it back to 12 steps backward,
Mhm.
a Waka will say that. That is a shame. A Waka who judge will have to resuscitate, send him to the state to give him life today will say that.
Mhm.
Look, I don't know. I don't think I should use that
Do
response.
you think he was just trying to maybe attract attention and not being serious with what he was saying?
That's the unnecessary politicking we do in Liberia. Exactly what is being what he was displaying over there. Because if you are the second in command of a nation,
Mhm.
and you as a vice president, you cannot point to one undertaking of your own after receiving millions every year for that office. And you want to manipulate the minds of our young people, of the people who are going to make decisions by those type of talk, is regrettable. And if I were in that gathering,
Mhm.
I would have walked away to listen to Waka say that. Because if you calculate the president's achievement in less than 6 years, the whole life of the very Waka man does not match that. Waka want to talk about road when the president gave him a road to go to his own country. In fact, he doesn't want to go to his own country because what will he say to them? Where he come from? What does he have there? That he can show that people can say, okay, yes, this man, if he become a president in the next war, probably maybe I don't know where this next war or anywhere, because I don't know. From what I listened to yesterday from Costa, I don't know how long he got to go. But that's not the issue. You understand? If the president is giving a role, doing a role to Lofa, how often do you go to Lofa? He can't go there because he doesn't have the face to face his people. On the country to I went to Foya, I went to where Waka, the state Waka came from. I can't believe even an assistant minister or ever from that city. Then Waka won't talk about Kush. Their administration brought war into this country that gave young people arms today that they are trading, the party they are trading. Then he talk about Kush. President Wias is designing a program to rehabilitate these people that are going through this process. Then he talking about that. It's a shame. And people were around here, they couldn't tell him, say, stop. Is it politicking or politricking? So what happens sometimes? Because it's a shame. This is a judge we are who never knew anything about politics, but was sponsoring people today who claim they know better at the University of Liberia. When you're playing for, you have more than 500 scholarships at the University of Liberia. They can afford them, all of them benefited from that. They will tell you then you were not on your US scholarship, but they use that scholarship for sub members or for other people desiring of higher education. This is a judge who has come to power that are giving people free tuition. So if you went to every tertiary institution or every institution in the country, you have a higher enrollment than before. You're not thinking about that?
Let me take you back to a statement you made initially that this is a boy car who was taken to the US and given life. How did it happen then?
Like I was sick. Sorbor, I don't like to answer questions that people already know, probably for the benefit of other people.
Yeah, surely.
But I was very sick. There was nowhere he could turn to. It was Joshua who bought him ticket and gave him money. That's how you got the first pacemaker you ever had. Isn't that using a pacemaker today? Is Burger ready 100% like you and myself? Resigning no or in cap. So if a Burger, because people are pushing, look, let me tell you, to be honest with you, Burger in himself, he knows ready. He should not say anything against Joshua. He owe all to Joshua. But maybe because of few people behind who think.
So he tried to appease them.
He tried to appease
Okay, so we'll shortly open the lines. When do we know, Mr. Presidential Press Secretary, you got the ears of the president, when do we know that the president will be hitting the roads in rural Liberia? When? How soon?
Well, firstly, I just want to tell you, probably I should not be saying it, but I think in the coming weeks, maybe 2 or less than 2 weeks, around the 17, 18, there will be a massive program in Monrovia. A program where we will be telling the people, thank you for being there for the president. Thank you for re-electing him in advance in Monrovia. And that program is going to pull people more than what you saw on February 4th at the Anthony Tuckman Stadium. So the president should be going the road to be doing other programs. But, this is men who believe in the rule of law, who believe in the institution established by law. And right now, to say the president is going to go to Nima tomorrow, he will be tempted, to breach the electoral laws that other people are doing. Canvassing already when campaign has not been launched. But in the shortest possible time, the president will be going to the counties, and you will see when a president who is to be re-elected step before outside of the city. It's not. Nobody's going to be trucked. Nobody's going to be carrying taxi because nobody will take buses. People know you're taking buses. They are using taxis. But you will see the people themselves from their villages, real grassroots, welcoming the president to their homes, welcoming the president and reassuring of his re-elections. So very, very, very shortly, you'll see that happening.
0776 540 987. Again, 0776 540 987. Or better still, 0880 514 096. Again, 0880 514 096. Good morning.
Good morning, Sorbor.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Solo.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, this is Edmond. We do have a say for the re-election of the president and officially in person calling from Tukoro. No, I will go to the presidency. My sister, my son will go to that very platform to listen to them. For a former minister, deputy minister back home, to say the presidency in Israel, he took 9 days just to pray. Can you imagine that? Where the president, when he met the prime minister, the foreign minister, the president himself, and then he received a word from Zion, and then even his arrival there, then you telling me that he took 9 days just to pray, and then after that he made a stop over to Guinea-Bissau where they had an ECOWAS summit. 2017, you've been lying to your supporters. We are not 3 months, 1 day away from the election. You stay lying to your supporter. Where are we with this? But here, one way or the other, you don't have frustration because to be at that age and you have that opportunity, you blow it away. So that means you just be floating.
Okay.
Now to come to Liberia, no, please, please, come on. To come to Liberia, when we were in school with the biology, we were told that we have beginning, we have growth, we have maturity, we have decline, and we have death. So when you reach to that stage, I don't know which stage you found himself, So he will be saying things that you don't even know what he is saying. So we just say that, why can't you just say things that you don't know? Because if you be talking about early market, you pay early market for 12 years, you didn't complete it. We expect to complete it. You were there, you talk about Patawi. You didn't see Patawi at that time. At this time now, where you're not able to do anything at all, if that's the time you will do. In fact, he told the people of Bonkate. He said you will make them civil life. I don't know what way you're going to be making the people of Bonkate civil life. So again, this is what we do have for say solo. I have a dream to promote the president.
Okay, many thanks. Many thanks. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm okay, sir. Quickly.
Yeah, I'm Griot Cycling calling for Zulu Whiskey.
Let's hear from you.
Okay, brother, thank you very much. Oh, man, I just want to add on Sorbor regarding the rural business. Saying you looking for over there, metal billionaires, you please get them, let them come to our road in the Grand area here. We're begging you. Thank you very much.
Many thanks. Many thanks. Many thanks. Let me take this caller. Good morning. Yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, my name is Jimmy. I join you from District 4 in Bonkande.
Okay. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, I want to appreciate your studio getting. I said it all. We'll make sure that President George will have.
He's off the line. Okay, let's take this caller quickly. This caller is on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, Sorbor.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning to your studio guests. Artist Solo Kelgbeh, my son of brother. This is Hilton Wulajedo, Allah the people defender from Lockington. Hello, Sorbor.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Sorbor, we listened to the elaboration of the presidential secretary. And Sorbor, at this time, it tells you how we are fully prepared to go into the trenches and re-elect president. We are going on the outside and receiving international award. And even negotiating for the embassy to be reopened, and the people are headed to a quest. They tell you the kind of president we are. So as far as we're concerned, let them be tearing themselves apart and God be them while we are ready to get on our feet. Thank you to you and the president. We are fully prepared to go into the breaches.
Many thanks. Many thanks. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, my binomial nomenclature serves to be termed as Roxybell Rocky, and I call you from Mambase News Store.
Okay.
My own concentration and concern just have to do with our leaders is that let them establish a youth center, let them establish youth empowerment. That is my major concern.
Okay, many thanks. Many thanks. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
I'm calling for Pastor C. Pastor Kati, on a Bonkande panel.
Okay.
You know, to say good morning to the press secretary to our powerful president. You know, I listened to the former vice president. He's talking about bringing food and other things there. In that administration, they were there. It started too long. Why they didn't call it other countries? And now they want to leave it for our government. But they don't get anything to say. They shouldn't say anything about this government. We know that what the government is doing for us is beneficial for us. They had more number of people don't go to the street to get them out. So they will not go somewhere and go and tell the people who will bring food and other things there. And that's why we're being president. And he's not even qualified to be president.
Okay. Many thanks. Good morning.
Good morning, brother Sorbor.
Good morning, ma.
This is Ma was calling from the 15.
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. This morning for the liberation.
Hello? Hello? Oh, I want to reduce the volume of the radio. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Sorbor.
Yes, good morning.
Okay, this is Lauren McGraw calling you from Liverpool to be interested. We have this trade number 2 this morning. So let me say hi to my studio one in the studio for your begin our day today. And over watching you way back, there is a campaign recording. You don't start recording. What are you recording? We die with love of promises of what cities here so in Liverpool Day. Every trade ever made, Liverpool Day to be represented, carry the business foreign and say, we don't waiting for the day. If you bring the power up tomorrow, sir, we will beat them flat. Thank you so much.
Many thanks. Many thanks. Good morning. We're taking the 2 more calls. Good morning.
This is my working again.
Yes, let's hear from you.
Yeah, I want to tell the minister thank you for his liberation this morning, and I want to welcome our dynamic president back into this country. I want to thank God for his safe and rapport here in dedicated. The color that just come from Grand Judea that the president means billionaire, so the president can't fake Grand Judea rule. I want to tell him, and now he don't want telling the president to do what he's doing. Let him mock our president we are. Time will come, like people will cry for president we are. Time will come, they will cry for president we are in this country.
Okay.
And I pray that God will make him to do what he's doing. Mr.
Okay.
Kelly, I would call Brother George. I beg you. I get my problem. I will explain it. I won't say what I beg you, Mr. Minister. I will explain to Brother Sorbor.
Yes, no problem.
I beg you, Papa. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he'll do something. Don't worry. Good morning. Yes, good morning.
So how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Steven's down through Westgate.
Let's hear from you, Steve.
Okay, let me first say thank you to the very sound presidential secretary. People are Kelgbeh,
Only
I want to job, ma.
you said you.
Anyo Kawala, Bagio, on money, only on the
Oh,
You got only a few seconds, though.
when you well,
That's why when we told that the long-awaited people tend to doubt it. Not everybody can go to Israel in peace. Now Boyo can go to Israel. But a God-fearing person, like President George Weah, who are called W, either one can go down there. And so, that clearly tells us that the election is just for us. Nothing. Those people that are just crying wolf, they are just crying wolf to get 1 or 2 things for themselves. Waka, take down. Let your son continue to support you. Don't spoil your way. Thank you very much.
Man, it's saying, let me take this last caller. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Let me take this caller on this line. Good morning.
Good morning, Sorbor.
Good morning, sir.
of what is you?
Okay. This
This I just what you.
Go ahead.
this area to
Okay.
Salorian. So when we sit back, we don't want to talk. I spent 1 month and a half in my own town, Nanaku, the Cloud District, and a patrol. So we just waiting for the day. We pack our cart, we need to put it in, and for 1 round. Why are you here? I don't know. We following those alerts them. So thank you, Papa.
Okay, Omwendru.
Okay.
Someone went through. Someone messing with no more.
Yeah, I was saying to you, don't worry. I know, I heard it. You don't got to retire.
You got to respond to the man. No, we respond to
Well, you already responded. I said,
okay. In a young monyo. Crappy, you will crappy to you.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Please bring my son. Let me go. Yeah, that's it. You what?
Oh, ma.
Okay.
Someone, ma.
Please, I see you. So your party comment, please.
Basically, somebody was saying for concert SYZ, but I think it's better to pray. There's power in prayer than going to the shrine. And the best thing that any leader will do is to tend the call, because we in our country we believe our country.
Okay.
We believe in God. There's God, and there will always be God. And I don't want our people to be misled. And the president is the president. He has a vision that needs to be completed. And so go to the pool. Come October when elections come, we'll tell you what you need to do.
Okay.
But the OSA will already know he's your president, and you have to support him throughout. Thank you, Sorbor, for
Many thanks. He's Presidential Press Secretary Solo Kelgbeh. He's been my guest on the SMS this morning. But it's just I will go home. Thanks to my indefatigable, my illustrious and hardworking producer, the man Melvin Stewart. Damawa has been behind the camera. Sorbor George is my name. But before we go, listen, there's no second chance for first impression. Have a pleasant day. We'll be here tomorrow, God willing. Have a pleasant day.